In this second episode of the analysis, I will be analyzing the effects of Zhang Jike's twiddling during key intervals in the point, and explore the alternatives that would have resulted in different outcomes for both players. If you like this type of analysis, be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment down below.
对，赶快拉开，好球，
高起来了，
对，水补的
拿手好戏，对台的防守，
球
还能守住，
很有耐心啊。
对，哇，反拉回来，没有机会再推到防守的位置，还是拉回来，哇。
So we open up a sequence of attacks thanks to a clipped forehand loop from Zhang Jike in red, to the forehand of Jun Mizutani in black. After a quick round of topspin and lobs with no fruition in sight, as Jun seemingly became more comfortable with each oncoming topspin, Zhang decided to increase the pace by smashing via twiddling. For those who are unfamiliar with the term, twiddling is a methodical strategy in table tennis, where a player uses either side of the paddle interchangeably to his or her advantage, by changing the pace of the game via variations of spin and speed, produced by the unique characteristics of each rubber. As evident from Zhang's abrupt switching from the spinnier black side to the faster red side, which yielded much faster and powerful smashes compared to the consistent yet non-lethal topspins. For the audience, twiddling can often be observed from the change of rubber color on the dedicated side of a player's wing. Now that you know the reasons behind Zhang's twiddling, let's explore the alternatives of what could have happened that would have tilted the point to each player's favor. The third smash from Zhang after he initiated the first twiddle brought Mizutani deep and wide into his forehand side, where possibly the only option to retrieve the ball was via lobbing. But instead of continuing the bombardment of smashes, Zhang decided to follow up with a rather low-quality drop shot that landed near the center end of Jun's backhand. From the quality of a drop shot perspective, it was disgracefully poor. When we rewind that last lob for a bit, we can actually see that the returned lob landed perfectly deep and sweet into Zhang's forehand, which could have resulted in any of these different scenarios. 1. Instead of the drop shot, Zhang should have waited for the ball to rise a bit higher in order to smash wide and deep cross-court into Jun's open backhand. Or 2. Perform a quick brush loop almost immediately after the ball rises from the lob. This quick brush in Chinese is called 快带, very likely would not have been possible for Jun to retrieve, considering how far he was already away from the table, and how quick and low the ball from the quick brush loop would have traveled. 3. Because Zhang's drop shot stance was already in place even before Jun's lob hit the table, that allowed Jun to anticipate that a drop shot was coming, and thus quickly move to his backhand for the recovery. As depicted in the next shot, a mishandling on Zhang's part as Jun was able to anticipate the next shot perfectly. And lastly, 4. Instead of just passively backhand loop the ball from the drop shot, as seen from his minimal wrist rotation, Jun should have taken a more aggressive approach with a stronger and determined backhand loop swing against Zhang's poorly or perfectly placed drop shot, depending on the perspective of Zhang and Jun respectively. I'm pretty certain had Jun either toward that opportunistic backhand fast and spinny cross-court, or even deep down to Zhang's backhand, he would have easily won that point. The second and third twiddles were executed flawlessly as moves were planned ahead, as illustrated from the forehand down the line setup followed by the victorious smash. For more analysis and career highlights, check out my other videos in this channel.